Welcome once again to my channel, the ExJW Freedom Fighter channel, exposing the wrong teaching of the Jehovah's Witnesses religion that is having a bad effects on the lives of their members and those who believes their kind of teachings which they claim came from the Bible, but in reality is only a fruit of the wild imaginations of the leaders of this religion, the Jehovah's Witnesses religion or the Watchtower Society. So for this episode, I'm going to give an answer to my only regular buzzer here in the channel, which I was calling, and the other subscriber of this channel is calling him Lizardo, a character from a famous Philippine movie, which continues to be resurrected once the hero of the film finally conquered and destroyed him, and the following sequel he will be resurrected again. And that is the moniker I have named him because time and again I was able to refute his criticism against me, against my person, or against the content of my videos here in the channel. And in my last video, he posed a rhetorical, sarcastic question to insinuate and put me in at fault with what I have said in my last video regarding surrogacy. And his comment can be read and the Tagalog or Filipino version of my video about surrogacy. And his comment is like this in a rhetorical question. What is in English, I can put it this way. His question is, what is the translation you use for this? And at the end of his question, he put the laughing icon or image. So, he is implying that I was misquoting his religion or the leaders of his religion, the Watchtower or the governing body of the Jehovah's Witnesses, by using Leviticus 8 and 20. But as you can see, if you will go back to my last video, I was directly reading from my computer and their own website, their own version or translation of Leviticus 8 and 20, which appear in their article of that particular awake issue regarding surrogacy on 1993 March. If I'm not mistaken, it was issued. It was the issue of March 8th, 1993. So I was reading. It is their own translation. But his question give us some interesting point to discuss, because he is implying in that question that I was at fault of criticizing their religion regarding their very strong opposition about surrogacy when I read Leviticus 8 and 20 from their old version, particularly their 1984 version or edition of their own concocted mistranslation of the Bible. So, in that question, my buzzer, Mike, also known as Lizardo, is implying that they have corrected that already, and I was attacking an obsolete uh, teaching of them. But you have to bear in mind, my viewers have to bear in mind that my primary topic on that last video is about surrogacy and not about Bible translation. I was just commented on their translation that it is wrong because the resulting conclusion from their leadership was being based on that problematic translation of 1820 or wrong translation of 1820s by their leadership. So, my buzzer is implying that I was at fault because he's implying and insinuating that they have improved or somehow rectify the issue or the wrong interpretation of the Watchtower surrogacy. But is it true that the Watchtower Society or the leadership of the Jehovah's Witnesses has corrected their opposition regarding surrogacy because they have now their new translation of Leviticus 18:20, which conforms now to the natural or reliable way of translating that particular verse of the Bible, which and their newest or latest edition of the New World Translation, their own concocted mistranslation of the Bible, they put it this way: you must not have sexual intercourse with the wife of your fellow man. So, as I've said in my last video, that should be the right way or the very clear way of translating that particular verse. So, back again to our main topic, did their leadership or has their leadership rectified or corrected that wrong explanation or conclusion regarding celibacy?
Explanation or conclusion regarding celibacy.
Which they based on the wrong translation of Leviticus 18:20. Now, at this point, I want to challenge my buzzer, Mike, if he can produce from their own website or any literature from their organization any article that says that they have realized that they have made a very grave mistake of saying or teaching that motherhood or surrogacy motherhood is a form of adultery and fornication because they have based it from their erroneous translation of Leviticus 18:20 in the 1984 edition of their mistranslation of the Bible. Yes, I am challenging you, Mike, also known as Lizardo, and so many names that you're using as troll accounts. I am challenging you. If you came up with an article from the Watchtower admitting clearly that they have done a grave mistake of saying or teaching that surrogacy is a form of adultery and fornication. And you have to produce an article or a video, official video from your society or from your organization that not only they admitted that wrong, but that they have humbly and sincerely asked forgiveness from their members, countless members and countless readers of their magazine, Awake magazine, and other literature, opposing surrogacy motherhood and putting it in a bad light. Did they ever make an apology for all those couples that they have deprived of the opportunity of having a child of their own and grandchildren of their own, because they have obeyed and accepted that kind of twisted and ridiculous teaching from the leadership of your organization, which is based on the erroneous translation of Leviticus 18:20. Can you produce? Can you be able to produce a proof that they have done that, humbly and sincerely apologizing and asking forgiveness? Because your very recent translation, which rectified the translation or rendition of Leviticus 18:20, this Grey Bible was being released on the year 2013. That is exactly already 8 years already from now. But from that very long time that they have corrected the rendition of 1820, have they ever came up with an article, even an article, apologizing clearly and sincerely asking forgiveness? Because if we will go back from the Awake magazine, 1993, that is already 28 years by now. So, if those countless couple, and who knows how many of them have obeyed that kind of teaching from the Watchtower, their child must have been 27. If they didn't obey that, their child must have already 27 years old, and by now, these couples who cannot be able to have a child in a natural way, but have an opportunity to have a child and grandchild through surrogacy motherhood, they by this time, they are now already cuddling their little grandchildren from their own child. But the leadership of the Watchtower has denied them of that opportunity because they have teach a very ridiculous teaching which they are claiming coming from God, but in fact from their own wild and bizarre imaginations. They have deprived this countless couple, and no one today, no one of us today can tell how many of them these couples. Then they are now, by now, very old, having no child, having no grandchildren, because they have believed that kind of wrong teaching from society. So, their viewers, as you can see, the teaching of the leadership of the Watchtower directly and severely damages or affected the lives of their members and those who believe their kinds of teaching. That is the very purpose of my videos, exposing them in order for my viewers, whether they are members of the Jehovah's Witnesses religion or ordinary people which do not belong to that religion, maybe one of the negatives and disadvantages and the losses that they may incur because of believing the lies of the leadership of this religion. Thank you for bearing up with my kind of English. And please, if you are not yet a subscriber, subscribe. And please help me by in this activism by sharing all my videos to all your friends and acquaintances and relatives, and so that they can benefit from the contents of these videos. Thank you, and may you have a good day.